أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. We start off by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending our peace and blessings upon our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah to grant us beneficial knowledge and understanding and wisdom. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us an acceptance of these last 10 nights and to keep us steadfast and sincere. Go up here, go up here, go up here. Come, I'm going to show you something. Bismillah. We continue our lecture series in regards to good etiquette and good moral conduct. And today we want to talk about the ethics of giving good da'wah and the importance of da'wah. And da'wah is to call someone to Allah. Da'wah is to call someone to La ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. And this is the greatest thing to call anybody to. And da'wah was the obligation for all the prophets and messengers. Da'wah is what they came with. Da'wah is when they called their people to La ilaha illallah. Nuh alayhi salam, he called his people to La ilaha illallah. And Salih and Shu'aib and Hud, all of them, when they come, Allah, He mentions their stories in the Quran. He says, they call them out to God. They say, you have no God but Allah. مَا لَكُم مِّنْ إِلَهٍ غَيْرُهُ أَفَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. They call out to the people, they say, you don't have a Lord other than God. Do you not fear? Do you not take heed? So da'wah is important, and the prophets and messengers, they're the ones who started off giving da'wah. We also say that da'wah is an obligation upon every Muslim to a certain extent or degree. You as a Muslim and a follower of the Prophet ﷺ in the Quran, you have an obligation to give da'wah in your own capacity. So now with that being said, da'wah has a couple of etiquettes that we want to speak about. But there's a couple of beautiful ahadith. Allah, He says in the Quran, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Allah, He says in Surah Ali Imran, let there be from amongst you a nation, yani us, who call out to good. يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, calling out to good. Let there be from you a nation who calls out to good. Calling out to good, the first thing that goes on that list is what? What's calling out to good? The first thing in good. They say, yeah, exactly. That's the first thing on the list of good. What is good? Like if you talk about good, what is good? La ilaha illallah is the first thing. So let there be a group from you who call out to good. Good has a lot of subcategories. The main thing of good is La ilaha illallah. Because with La ilaha illallah, everything good comes after it. La ilaha illallah is the first thing. The prophets and messengers, they called all the people to good, of course. The first thing they called them out to was La ilaha illallah. So Islam is the first thing. La ilaha illallah, Tawheed, is what enters you into Islam. The belief in one God. The belief that in one God and God has no partners and God has no sons or cousins. God is one. God is omnipotent. He's everlasting. He's all-sustaining. God is the creator of the heavens and the universe. This is good. What else is something good? Because God says, let there be from amongst you who call out to good. What's another example of good? It doesn't have to be in order. What's good? Yeah, everything. Good character. What else? Good. Well, what's something good that we could call out to? Anything good? Not salah? Not fasting? I'm so confused. Guys, it's not good? Huh? Yeah, good, yeah, not good. So let there be a group from amongst you who calls out to good. We said the pinnacle of good is La ilaha illallah. And after that is salah, wudu, tahara, being good to people. Everything in Islam is good. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah, He says in Surah Al-A'raf that God does not call out to indecency. Do you say, or do you claim to attribute to Allah what you do not know? And this ayah came down because the polytheists, the mushrikun, they say a lot of weird things about Allah. They have weird, strange beliefs. So Allah, He says that God doesn't command with indecency. Meaning that Allah only commands with good. So when it says, let there be a people from you who call to good, good is Islam. And everything that it comes with, which is everything good. Salah, having a connection with God, Quran, good conduct and good character. وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and they command good. وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and they forbid evil. This group of people, they also command good. They tell people to do good, and they remind people to do good, and they remind themselves to do good. So they also, can you go up here? There's a knob. Go on the mixer. There's a mixer. Go here. Go straight in. Open the cabinet. There's a mixer, all right? What do you see on the screen? What do you see on the screen? What do you see on the screen? Bars or screensaver? All right. Is the middle bar highlighted? The fifth one? Okay. You see the knob on the right. It's a fat knob. Move it one tad to the left, like lower it, one tad. You got it? Bismillah. Lower it one more tad. Bismillah. You lowered it 2 tads? Bismillah. Bismillah. Is it good? It's good, right? It's too low? Okay, thank you. So let them, it's better, right? It's a little lower, right? Yeah, right? Higher it, one more tad. A little low, right? Yeah. One more tad. Higher it, one more tad. Bismillah. That's good? That's good, yeah, come. Yeah? No, it's better. It's a little tiny. Stop. There's OCD. Yeah. He knows me. So it's a little low, right? All right. So he says, let them command good and let them forbid evil. Because if you're going to command good, you should forbid evil as well. And forbidding evil is warranted. You have to do that. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. In this group of people, they are the true successful people. The true successful people are those who command good and they call to good and they forbid evil. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, مَنْ دَعَا إِلَى هُدًى كَانَ لَهُ مِنَ الْأَجْرِ مِثْلُ أُجُورِ مَنْ تَبِعَهُ لَا يَنْقُصُ ذَلِكَ مِنْ أُجُورِهِمْ شَيْئًا. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, whomsoever calls to something good, huda, he calls to guidance, he receives the reward for the individual who followed him in that guidance, and nothing is subtracted from his reward or the other person's reward at all. This is a very beautiful hadith. I want to explain it again. The Prophet said, whomsoever calls to guidance, calling to guidance means an act of guidance, something good. Teaching someone how to read Surah Al-Fatiha is calling to guidance. Calling someone to La ilaha illallah is calling to guidance. Calling anybody to something good. You receive the reward for the person you taught. You receive the full reward for that person who you taught, and there's no subtraction of reward from your scale or his scale. So he receives full reward because he learned from you, and you're receiving everything he does after. That's why when someone converts to Islam, or if you have a baby child and you teach them Surah Al-Fatiha, you receive all of the ajr that they ever do with the reading of Surah Al-Fatiha. The Prophet ﷺ, he told Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib in this famous long hadith that I'm going to read now. At the end of the story, he tells him, فَوَاللَّهِ لِأَنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلٌ وَاحِدٌ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ حُمْرَ النَّعَمِ. He tells Sayyidina Ali, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides through you one single person, it's better than receiving red camels. Red camels were a rare commodity in the Arabian Peninsula. They were rare. They were expensive camels because the Prophet speaks to his people in a language that they understand. So he says, whomsoever, if Allah guides one person through you, one person, then it's better than getting red camels, expensive cars, يعني. I'm going to read the hadith because it's a beautiful hadith. أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يوم خيبر لأعطين هذه الراية غدا رجلا يفتح الله على يديه يحب الله ورسوله ويحبه الله ورسوله قال فبات الناس يدكون ليلتهم أيهم يعطاها فلما أصبح الناس غدوا على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كلهم يرجو أن يعطاها فقال أين علي ابن أبي طالب. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the day of Khaybar, Khaybar was a fort that was made by the Jews. The Jews used to hide behind large forts. So it's a fortress. The companions tried to overthrow the fort for a couple of days and they couldn't. Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Umar and all of them had an opportunity to overthrow the fort and to enter the large gate, but no one could overthrow the fort and get through the gate. So after all of this happened, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said this famous statement. He said, indeed, I will give the flag tomorrow to someone who Allah is going to open the doors with him through his hands. يَفْتَحَ اللَّهُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يُحِبُّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولُهُ. This person that I'm going to give the flag to tomorrow, he loves Allah and his messenger. وَيُحِبُّهُ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. And Allah and his messenger love him back. It's very beautiful. So they're stuck at a fort of the Jews. They just finished another battle. They went straight from the other battle to the fort. They went straight from the other battles to the fort. When they got to the fort, the reason why they went straight to this fort is because they betrayed them. They betrayed the trust of the Muslims and they went against their contract. So the Prophet commanded his companions to go attack them. So they went to seek revenge for their treason, the Jews of Khaybar who made treason. So when they went to Khaybar, they got there. They got stuck for 4 or 5 days trying to enter the fort and they couldn't. It was a fortified fort, strong big gate, strong fort. So the Prophet ﷺ now, he took matters into his own hand. He said, tomorrow, I'm going to give the banner. The banner is the flag of La ilaha illallah that they hold at war, to someone who loves Allah and his messenger, and Allah will open the door through his hands. And he said, and Allah and his messenger love him back. So then the companions went to sleep that night, but no one got any sleep because they were excited. You know, if you're going, I was going to give an example. If you're going to meet someone tomorrow that you're very excited to see, if you have a meeting tomorrow with someone you're very excited to see, you won't be able to sleep at night. And if you have a big exam tomorrow, maybe you'll sleep, but in the sleep you're going to have a dream of calculus and physics and whatever equation it is. If you have a khutbah at Jum'ah, you go to sleep Thursday night, every Jum'ah, dream of the khutbah. Anyway, he says, فَبَاتَ النَّاسُ يَدُكُّونَ لَيْلَتَهُم. So the companions spent their nights tossing and turning. No one slept at all, out of excitement. They're all thinking, maybe I'm going to get the banner. And if I get the banner, then I love Allah and his messenger, and Allah and his messenger love me back. This is a great virtue. And Allah is going to open with like the door, the fort on my hands. Everyone was shaking from excitement. أيهم يعطاها. They were all saying, who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? فلما أصبح الناس غدوا على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So when they all got up, they went to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. كلهم يرجو أن يعطاها. They're all wishing that they are the ones who are going to receive this banner because it's an immense virtue. فقال أين علي ابن أبي طالب. فقيل هو يا رسول الله يشتكي عينيه. قال فأرسلوا إليه. So the Prophet, after they all came to him with excitement, he said, where's Sayyidina Ali? He goes, where's my cousin, his beloved cousin? He raised Ali ibn Abi Talib in his house. Sayyidina Ali is very virtuous, right? He goes, where's Ali? And they said to the Prophet ﷺ, he has a problem with his eyes. Like, why are you asking about him? Like, he's not who you want, take me. They said, no, he's complaining about the illness he has in his eyes. The story goes that at the battle before this one, he received an eye injury and also a massive headache because he was a strong character in that battle. So now he had an eye problem. He can't see. They said, oh, Rasulullah, he has a problem in his eyes and he's complaining about it. قال فأرسلوا إليه فأوتي به فبصق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في عينيه. He says, it's okay. He has a problem with his eyes, no problem. In the other narration, they say that he has a headache and a problem with his eyes. And the Prophet ﷺ said, no problem, go and call him out to me. Go bring him to me now. So they go call Sayyidina Ali. They say, oh, Rasulullah wants to speak to you. So they come and they bring Sayyidina Ali. And the Prophet ﷺ placed his blessed saliva on the eyes of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And the Prophet ﷺ, the scholars of Ahlul Sunnah, are unanimous in an interesting There's an interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Characteristic or an interesting virtue that the Prophet ﷺ has that the scholars of Ahlul Sunnah are pretty much unanimous about. And that's that the Prophet ﷺ, nothing is excreted from his blessed body except its purity. It's pure. The scholars of Ahlul Sunnah say that the Prophet's urine is pure and his saliva is pure. Anything that's excreted from his blessed body is pure. And there's many ahadith to back this up. So of course saliva is pure anyway. You get it? Saliva is pure anyway. So the Prophet ﷺ, he takes some saliva and he spits in a gentle manner in his hand, and he places it on the eyes of Sayyidina Ali because Sayyidina Ali had a problem with his eyes. So he places his blessed saliva on the eyes of Sayyidina Ali. وَدَعَ لَهُ فَبَرَأَ حَتَّى كَأَنْ لَمْ يَكُنْ بِهِ وَجَعٌ. So then he goes and he places the saliva on Sayyidina Ali's eyes and he makes dua for him to be better. He makes dua for him to have his eyesight back. And he was healed and returned to normal as if nothing ever happened to him ever, and he had no pain. فَأَعْطَاهُ الرَّايَةِ. So the Prophet ﷺ took the banner and he gave it to Sayyidina Ali. Look at this virtue in this hadith. And this hadith is in Bukhari and in Muslim and in many books of hadith. Look at this virtue of Sayyidina Ali before we finish the hadith. Look at this virtue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger, the Prophet of Allah, he bared witness that Sayyidina Ali is someone that Allah and his messenger love, and he loves Allah and his messenger. And he's someone to be trusted at a time of difficulty. So he gives him the banner. فَقَالَ عَلِيٌّ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ أُقَاتِلُهُمْ حَتَّى يَكُونُوا مِثْلَنَا. So Ali responds to the Prophet. Now he has the banner and he's in charge of the battle. So he says, "O Rasulullah, should I fight them until they become like us? Yani until they believe?" فَقَالَ أُنْفُذْ عَلَى رِسْلِكَ حَتَّى تَنْزَلَ بِسَاحَتِهِمْ. He goes, "Oh Ali, go out with ease until you reach their main area. ثُمَّ ادْعُوهُمْ إِلَى الْإِسْلَامِ. Once you reach them, before fighting, call them out to Islam." And this is the part of the hadith that we want to talk about, is about da'wah. Before you fight, call them out to Islam. Give them an opportunity to believe first. If they believe, there's no fight. We forgive them. Oh, they did treachery, but if they believe, khalas, we'll forgive them. No. He says, go until you reach their main area. Once you reach their main area, call them out to Islam. And how you could do that, you call them, say, "Do you believe? I'm giving you one last chance. La ilaha illallah," right? وَأَخْبِرْهُمْ بِمَا يَجِبُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ حَقِّ اللَّهِ فِيهِ. And tell them and let them all know what is incumbent upon all of them in regards to Allah. Yani belief in one God. Let them know. فَوَاللَّهِ لِأَنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلٌ وَاحِدًا خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ أَنْ يَكُونَ لَكَ حُمَرَ النَّعَمِ. And then he goes, after telling Sayyidina Ali to make da'wah, call them out to Allah and let them know what they have to do if they become Muslim, he goes, by Allah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides one single person through you, if Allah guides one of them through you, then it's better than receiving red camels. In today's language, it's better than having $1 million in your bank, because a red camel was rare. Red camels were expensive. So the time is up. I'm just going to mention 3 things, and that's that. The whole point of this khatira was the etiquette of da'wah. That was the virtue of da'wah. Virtue of da'wah, it's very rewarding. Etiquette of da'wah goes down to 3 things. 3 things. The first thing is mukhlisan lillahi ta'ala. For the person calling out to Islam or making da'wah, he should be sincere. That's the first thing. The second one, he should mutasallihan bil ilm. He should have knowledge about what he's talking about, and he should practice what he's preaching. He should have knowledge and he should practice what he preaches. He can't be a person of da'wah and he doesn't implement what he's calling to. So if you ever get the opportunity to give a khatira or a bayan or a khutbah, you better prepare something that you implement, because then it's a proof against you. So to be sincere is the first thing, and to have knowledge of what you're speaking about, to speak out of knowledge and not ignorance, and to act upon what you preach and to practice what you preach, and of course to begin with what is most important, and that's tawheed, and that is the belief in la ilaha illallah. We ask Allah to bless us with understanding and knowledge and wisdom, and to make us all ambassadors of His religion. We ask Allah to make us all people of da'wah with sincerity. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. We could stand for Salat al-Isha.